Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome back to the new episode of the Late Night Sneaker Talk Show. Ladies and gentlemen, it has been a couple of days. I'm not going to lie to you. I was going to film an episode yesterday, and then my body said, never mind, you're good. And so I do want to apologize for not doing an episode yesterday. I do want to say that we have a lot of things going on here in the city of Houston. So if you are visiting the city, please be safe, please be careful, and please don't be a dumbass and do some dumb shit. That's all I'm going to really say to y'all. We started March Madness. Out of the 8 brackets I have started, only one is still alive, ladies and gentlemen. Can you believe me when I say I only have one singular bracket that is still alive? Now, is that crazy work? Yes, it is, because you mean to tell me out of 26 million brackets, 25 have been eliminated. I'm telling you, like, ESPN bracket numbers are doing crazy work right now because of the fact that there's not really any safe brackets right now. So, with that being said, we've been dealing with a lot here, and I'm grateful for everyone who's tuned into the show. Like, commented, subscribe, checked out the channel, all of that, and then some. I know for the simple fact that we had literally out of the last 2 big sneaker streams, we had over 150 views combined, and that's an amazing number. And we just hit 2,350 subs today, so I'm very appreciative about that as well. Like I said, people don't understand. It's hard teaching and then doing this as well. And I did this last year. If you go check out the channel, I did this sort of stream event every day last year, because at least my teaching schedule, even though the students were chaotic, I had a better schedule, or I should say a better adjustment of schedule. But now or less, we are, how can I put this? We are handling a lot of things differently, and so I probably will I will make up the streams I miss and continue onward. But just for it to be the first day of March Madness says a lot. And so with that being said, it's about time we get into our first set of sneakers. So let me do this now, and let me do this for those who are watching, because I know if you're watching and you like sneakers and you like the channel and you like supporting the channel, then this is the best way to do it. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, check out the channel, and don't forget to share the videos, because all your shares, all your videos, all your support, and me chopping up the videos for shorts, I greatly appreciate the numbers that we are getting. So let's get into sneakers. Ladies and gentlemen, we have the LSU Kobe 3 lows from March Madness. Now, y'all know me. Y'all know I like a good, college PE. But I'm not going to lie. Compared to, like, Kentucky's I said was pretty cool. USC's was pretty nice. LSU, that purple and gold with the white and the purple on the inside, could be actually very underrated. I'm not going to say it's the best one out of the 4, because I'm going to have that opinion come up later. Which of the 4 is the best ones, but I'm not gonna lie, this is actually a pretty nice sneaker as well. I think when you take into consideration that we're getting more and more college PEs coming out, because it's almost the end of college basketball season, and with the upsets that are happening in March Madness, we should be greatly appreciative of all that we are getting. That just allows for us as a society or as a community to be like, yeah, I'm here for it. I mean, excuse me. As much as we talk about style and grace and all the other features that come with sneakers and the details of a lot of sneakers, and like I tell people all the time when I'm doing this show, it sucks because as much as I want to talk about other brands and other sneakers as well, their news and their leaks don't come out as much as Nike. Like, I hate to say it, like, Nike and Jordan brand have a lot of leakers, and they drop a lot of leaks, and even though the community is, here for it, it just takes away from the fact that we can at least have some, good sneakers, but also, also have a chance to, get great sneakers. So that's the thing you have to take into consideration. It's not just the simple fact that, we have, a crazy sneaker market where everybody's trying to get the best sneakers out now or the best releases out now. It's more or less like it's a competition of who's gonna have the best sneaker to release and what the best sneaker will be releasing is. So that's the problem with itself. But these Kobe's are solid. Like these Kobe's are solid, and the LSU is pretty much one of the better pairs. Like I said, I did Kentucky, I did LSU. I might do Oregon. I'm 50-50 on that one, especially after the shenanigans of what's been going on. But needless to say, there's been some fire, and we should be appreciative of this fire because we don't know what else we're going to get as far as a preview and as far as a genuine sneaker. So with that being said, let's go into the next sneaker, shall we? Hopefully I can pull it up for y'all really quickly because it's a lot of sneaker news coming out. There's a lot of things people are talking about in this market more than ever. And if only people knew what they knew, they would be like, okay, I understand. I forgot to talk about these. Let's get into these real quick. Let's get into these joints real quick. Hopefully the picture fits well. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we have our look at the First Sight Awards, which are coming out tomorrow. I think this is more or less a women's shoe. They're dropping at 9. I think these for the ladies as a runner is really nice. The black on black is very nice, especially with the mesh. Really can't go wrong with either design of the sneaker. Like the sneaker, from my point of view, looks nice. I don't think this is a men's shoe. I think this is for the ladies. So ladies, you have a chance to get something that's stylish, something that goes with your athletic fit, and something that looks like it's comfortable, because especially how it rises upward from the back heel, I think it's more comfortable for your feet. So hopefully ladies get something to enjoy with this sneaker more than most people will get it credit for. Not to say that this is going to be a bad sneaker or anything like that. I think we reach a part of time that allows people to see a good sneaker and actually get to appreciate it for what it is and to make the best of that sneaker while going at it as well. Now, I will admit, I didn't expect this. I've been meaning to talk about the sneaker for a minute, and I do apologize, but hopefully I will get better and back on track when it comes to these, especially trying to find the time to clip these as I make shorts is also a harder thing to do because I don't have the time during the day. But hopefully y'all are appreciating these streams because I do appreciate it, and hopefully the views will come up. The numbers is weird. I mean, 5 views so far is not bad, but we got to keep pushing. So next sneaker. I want a better picture. I just don't want the typical picture that everybody's seeing. There we go. Oh! Alright, I'm about to get into a quick tangent real quick. Give me a second. I'm about to pull up the sneaker. I'm about to pull up the sneaker, and then you'll see why I go into my tangent in a second. Alright, ladies and gentlemen. There we go. Ladies and gentlemen, we have the... I need to fix it. If I'm not in this frame, that's fine. I will be okay with it. I will be okay with not seeing a part of myself. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, these were revealed at South by Southwest because if you look at the background, that was last weekend. South by Southwest was literally last weekend in Austin. And these are the Adidas Samba viewfinders in celebration of 414 Day in Milwaukee. Now, they have a lot of spots on there, like at Eldridge Park, St. Joseph's. I'm looking at the maps on the sneakers, like just zooming in. Blood Mound Heights, Johnson Woods, Fair Park, Historic Third Ward. Like, this Samba has a lot of things going on for it. And I think for people that are from Milwaukee, hopefully y'all get a chance to actually get a sneaker that y'all appreciate. Let me see. But for these to be on stage with the Upper East Side, Riverside, Harambe, like, to show this sneaker off at South by Southwest is one thing, but to have a fan base of the sneaker as well, yeah, I think this is something that a lot of people will either love and appreciate or hate and miss. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm not saying it's, going to be the best damn sneaker out there, but I think people are going to rock with the sneaker the way they want to, and you take it from there. I genuinely, this is me genuinely speaking as a human being, of a person of, culture, art, and taste, people are going to rock with the sneaker. People are going to rock with it, especially from Milwaukee and everything like that. Like, people from Milwaukee are going to rock with this. They're going to, they're going to chill and actually be great with these. I think the problem is that if they don't sell, can the people from Milwaukee get these in the outlet? This is going to be a solid shoe. I don't think it's going to have too much hype behind it unless they're from Milwaukee. But even then, I think people are still going to enjoy it just the same. Now, am I perfect? No. Do I have, a lot of things going on in my own head? Yes, all the time. ADD is a thing that, makes it harder to deal with things. But at the end of the day, these sneakers are going to be solid. I go on my tangents and people won't complain because it's my freaking channel. And unless you're commenting and, giving me a review or anything, or at least, subbing, then don't be negative in my channels. Also, I will be, hold on. Oh, shit. Shit. Also, I will be getting to the business of responding to comments. I've been doing that slowly but surely. It's so many comments. And I'm not saying that is a bad thing. But I'm saying it as I need to do better, and me managing the channel and having the time to sit down and do comments, do the shows and all that stuff, and basically edit and all that stuff. Yeah, it does take a lot out of me. So I do apologize for the late responses when it comes to comments. And it's part of the reason that ever since Trump took over TikTok, I haven't really been posting on TikTok. And I got a shit ton of videos for y'all. But that orange TikTok in office is ruining everything. And I personally want no parts of that. With that being said, somebody had the time to pull up in an open gym with the NBA 2K generic shoes or get them made, and I thought this was hilarious. On so many accords, I really do thought this was hilarious. There we go. Like, you had the time to make the generic 2K shoes and actually bring them out into the public. All powers to you, my guy. Like, I think that is the most interesting thing. Not as a sneakerhead, but as somebody that loves not only troll culture, but just the fact that you've got the time out to your life to do this is interesting. Like, I think it's funny. If you actually release the shoe and don't get sued by 2K, go for it, my guy. That's easy bread right there. All right, let's get into the next sneaker. Oh, here we go. Hopefully everybody's doing well. Hopefully everybody's, enjoying the channel. Hopefully everybody's, being respectful in the comments when it comes to sneakers and conversation. I know I need to cut these clips down, so that's why I'm doing this show a little bit earlier, because at least if I get it in a little bit earlier, that way I can get it together and making sure that we have more content for y'all, and that way y'all can follow the short schedule, because like I said, this month is almost over and I'll be getting back to doing shorts, so hopefully then you can get back to supporting the channel that way. But I met John Wexler I think almost 10 years. It's been 10 years since I met him at Sneaker Summit in Houston. And he was the former, Adidas GM. And he showed us a unreleased Yeezy the Yeezy 350 1.5 sample. This he quoted saying this could have been another $1 billion franchise. Yes, we all agree Yeezys could have been that $1 billion franchise if Kanye didn't go so far right. If he would have stayed in the middle, or even a little bit, a little right leaning, but not too far left, if he would have stayed in the freaking middle, Yeezys would have actually have jumped over not actually jumped over Jumpman, at least they would have jumped over the OVO Jumpman. Let me say that. So I'm going to give credit where credit is due. Now, if we're talking about the sneaker in itself, you mean to tell me that it's a mesh 350? And you got to remember, when Yeezys were coming out, do you know I said my turtle doves? My zebras just started falling apart. My OG zebras just started falling apart. Like, turtle doves, the original run of turtle doves from 2015 are at least we're still going for over 2 bands. And so you mean to tell me that in an era that choose from 10 years ago, which were blowing up the market, could have been that $1 billion franchise? All you had to do is, do things in a better way. And that's the nicest way I'm going to put it, in a better way, that you could have been sitting on money. Because everybody was buying these shoes. Like, the zebras could have been basically the Panda Dunks, if you really want to be technical. Because, let's be real, re-releases were rare. And there was still a ton of colors that, definitely didn't release. Mind you, this was in between the V2s, because you got to remember, he did drop the 350 V2s. I'm telling you, like, y'all really think that we wasn't really on Yeezys 10 years ago. As a person who followed the market, the Yeezy market was dangerous around that time. So for that alone, I'm saying, like, yeah, we can honestly say, like, if trajectory would have been different, yeah, we would have been in a way better place sneaker-wise. And that's how I truly feel. Like, I truly feel that even now more than ever, we would have been in a different place as far as the sneaker releases. So, with John Wexler, showing off the sneaker, I think more or less that we were in a different place. And certain people in that place did not appreciate that place or that mindset. So it goes to show you that we could have been way better off. We screwed ourselves. That's the best way to look at it. Like, and I don't say we screwed ourselves as in we as the people that are the fans of sneakers that screwed themselves. No, I'm saying we screwed ourselves as in the people who had the power to make a difference about the sneakers screwed themselves. Let me be clear. All right, enough of that. I'm sorry. I've been waiting. I saw these J's earlier, and because I've already made my joke about the Air Force Ones that you could, if you watched a couple episodes back, I've made my joke about the Air Force Ones that you could literally rob somebody and go to a job interview at the same time because they were a black patent leather pair of Air Force Ones. Well, Jordan says, hold my beer, because the Air Jordan 1 Low MMV3 suit and tie that was pictured for 2026, we don't have a release date for them. If you look in the sneaker, ladies and gentlemen, if you look at the sneaker, I'm not going to lie to you. This sneaker has its own historical taste about it, and, people have their opinions. But it is a black patent leather Air Jordan 1. And the last time they did the inside black leather with the white stitching was the Barons from 07. The black ones. I had the white ones, but the black ones. You have a blue button-down collar on the sneaker. You have a tie onto the shoestrings. And a white pair of shoestrings. And the tie has a Jordan clip. The tongue is blue with the white stripes. And the sneaker is black. Like say what you want. I know these are going to be some of the most head-ass Air Jordan 1s we will ever see in our lifetime. But that doesn't mean that these might be the way that shifts people's opinions from the sneakers. Now, these joints here, say what you want. Say what you want, you know, you can say, hey, people are not going to buy these. I'm telling you, these might actually sell out. These might be the joints that people will actually buy. They actually sell out, and it's actually highly underrated as an Air Jordan 1. I don't know how the sneaker could get slept on. I wouldn't even believe it if it goes to the outlet. I'll be honest with you. Because there's no way that those will go in the outlet. I'm sorry. If they go in the outlet, it's probably in certain cities. It's not going to be everywhere. But even then, I would be like, why would these make it to the outlet? Like, who didn't want these sneakers unless we're in a part of a recession where gas is so high that the sneaker market is messed up and we can't afford it? Then fine. I will give you that as a valid argument. But, and this is a hard but, if you could afford them and you don't see no purpose in wearing them as a summer shoe, but more or less a winter shoe, because yeah, I remember MJ having a similar suit a similar button up in the 90s with it, and even though they're trying to match the two together and for the suit and tie V3 Air Jordan 1 lows, that doesn't mean they're a bad shoe. Excuse me. All right. Let's look at the next sneaker, ladies and gentlemen. I think we've been on a nice little roll here, you know. I think people are actually getting a feel for the sneakers that they want to wear. And I don't know. I just don't know. The market is in a very weird place, and we are basically returning to a lot of things that are coming back retro. And even now, I think with this sneaker I'm about to post, you can either call it a hit or a miss, but I think it's living off of the flair that it once had, but the original shoe that it's based off of. Ladies and gentlemen, LeBron James debuted the South Beach Nike LeBron 23s for his return to Miami. Now, I will not lie when I say the South Beach 8s is probably one of the best pair of LeBron sneakers of all time. I will hands down agree with that. Now, I know these might actually get a general release because, you know, when he wears a sneaker, 8 times out of 10, he's going to have a general release. What up, Laser Gang 88 official? How are you today, sir? I'm about to, let me write you in the comments. Let me write you in the chat. Give me a second. Give me 1 second. I do apologize. If you have a favorite sneaker, let me know in the comments what it is, because I can talk about it as well. Oh, that's another thing. Before I get back to the sneaker, I want to say something. We got them. We got the Tiana Taylors. The Tiana Taylors are downstairs right now in my house. And I was supposed to bring them for unboxing today. I might do that unboxing either Friday or Saturday, depending. I might do a separate solo video that's not live, talking about the Tiana Taylors. Hold on 1 second, y'all. Hold on. There we go. We got, but I don't want to go too off the detail. I don't want to go too off the cusp yet. I'm going to wait on that. People are saying these LeBrons are trash. I'm not gonna say they're trash. I'm gonna say people don't, or I'm gonna say people have their own takes of the LeBron 23s, and it's rightfully so. You can have your opinion, you can have your takes with them. I like the South Beach colorway because that's one of the colorways that I can admit that's LeBron's colorway, and he can't do any wrong in it. But to come out and say that this sneaker is just flat out trash, I wholeheartedly disagree, because let's be real. Let's be real for 1 second. If you had a chance to have a better version of this sneaker, or even a chance to have the sneaker worn, I think more or less you would actually try to get these. I mean, more or less people would try to get these, because I mean, come on now, a modern day South Beach colorway, and it might be actually affordable. Who wouldn't do it? That's the real question. It's like, who wouldn't take the chance to wear these? If you had a chance to wear these and actually, and they're actually comfortable, because I seen LeBron, sign a pair. I want to say that was either in LA or in Houston, because they was playing the Rockets at the time. A chance to sign a kid's shoe just because he used some manners, and I'm glad that some of the youth have manners, because Lord knows it's not easy teaching the youth manners. But shout out to his father, teaching them manners, and he's saying please on LeBron signing the sneakers. You got to take it as is. But needless to say, I think these are going to be a good shoe if they do come out. So hopefully people get a chance to actually enjoy them. All right, let's go to the next sneaker, y'all. We got to keep the show rolling. We almost 30 minutes in. Thank y'all for tuning in. Thank y'all for watching. Even though the numbers aren't as up as they were the first 2 nights of the streak, and I took that Wednesday off because of my body and how I wasn't truly mentally prepared for it, that doesn't mean that I don't appreciate all the views coming in regardless. So thank y'all for tuning into the Late Night Sneaker Talk Show. Hopefully once April and May comes around, I can start doing these once a week and then do my shorts every other day, just so that way there's some consistency with the channel, and I won't be chopping up videos as crazy, because as soon as I get off with this show right here, I'm putting it in job applications and I'm chopping these videos. So thank you again. All right, next sneaker, needless to say, the A6 Gel NYC Black Coffee. I'm not gonna lie, you could have called these Black Coffee and Cream, because that white is probably the most defining feature of the gel. Let's be real, the mocha is nice. The black is pretty cool. It blends in. Like, the detail of the sneaker, it blends in pretty cool. I'm not knocking the sneaker for how it blends and how it's detailed. That's not my take on the sneaker. But if you want to call it Black Coffee, that white part should have been black, though, in my opinion. Should have been black, and that's more of a Black Coffee and Cream, in my opinion. Like, even then, you can't really go wrong with that. There we go. I'm gonna say that honestly, let me see. I just want to see if they're on sale right now. I'm gonna check it just for the love of the game. Yeah, they're on. Well, Finish Line is still active. That's one thing, but they're $150. Yeah, that's not a bad price. Like, these aren't bad price. Like, low key, you might come up on something actually very stylish if you're taking a chance to actually wear the sneaker. I mean, it's something, actually pretty cool. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Hold on. Time out for 1 second. I think you're about to get a tangent, and I don't think y'all are ready for it. We are 30 minutes in on the show. I think it's time for a tangent. So, Foot Locker, which is technically owned by Dick's Sporting Goods, if I'm not mistaken, and y'all can correct me if I'm wrong, and DoorDash have teamed up and now allowing you to cop directly at your door. This is the worst thing that will ever happen to the sneaker market. So you mean to tell me, and all head assness, someone could literally sign up to be a DoorDasher, or that somebody that's working on DoorDash can get paid? Okay. You're literally getting paid to not bring food. So that means Foot Locker literally has to hold your reservation for a sneaker until your DoorDasher come, because they didn't say if it was going to be just regular shoes or exclusive releases. So hopefully we get more details on that soon. But you mean to tell me that somebody can run up as a DoorDasher, get somebody to order the shoe, they pick up the shoe, and the shoe could never come? You mean to tell me that DoorDashers are now being held accountable for way more than just food in this economy? That man could literally go to the store, be a DoorDasher, say, "Hey, I came to pick up this order," and he has the receipt and the barcode right there in hand, because that's how they do it for the food. Do that. Get the sneaker without paying for it, and count that shit lost. There has to be. I pray this is just for the wall releases or the overstock releases or even the clearance releases. This is not for the new releases, because if it is, this might be the dumbest thing I have ever heard, and I'm standing on it. Now, I need clarity before I really just go deeper into this, because with this actually being a thing, this is the craziest thing that can happen in the sneaker market, hands down. No way you can tell me. You can legitly tell me that this is what people want. Like, we want better healthcare, of course. We want cheaper food, of course. But we did not want DoorDash and Foot Locker combining for your drops. I mean, get it. I grant it. They don't want people waiting outside the malls anymore. This ain't like the 2000s or at least the 2010s. Fair point. But you're trusting another person, a DoorDasher, with your sneaker? That's crazy work. I'm sorry. That is legitly crazy work in this society, in this economy, that we have come to a time that we have literally allowed for people to order their sneakers off DoorDash. You can't tell me that that's not crazy work. There's no way. There is no way you cannot tell me that that's not wild. I'm sorry. Like, the more I look at the sneaker and the more I look into it, the more they look into it, it's just beyond foolishness. Like, say what you want. You can't tell me that's not the craziest shit you've ever seen in the release market. Like, you're not telling me that is not crazy work. I'm sorry. Yeah, I just don't know. I don't know if people are happy about that. Thank you, Thanos Primal, for checking out the channel. Yes, this is legit crazy work. Like, to be in a time where you could literally be, and I say this honestly, to be somebody that literally is going to buy a pair of sneakers and trust a DoorDasher with your sneakers in this economy, in this timeline, is crazy fucking work. That's all I gotta say. It's crazy fucking work. All right. Let's see what we got next. Let's see what sneaker we got next, ladies and gentlemen. All right. If you were on the Nike sneakers app today, that means you had a chance to win the Nigel Sylvester Air Jordan 1 Low OG Better With Time. It had an exclusive access. Honestly and truthfully, I don't even think I got the exclusive access because I didn't even get the notification. And I tell you, I can win for me, but I can't win for I can win for everybody else, but I can't win for me. Exactly. We barely trust you. I ain't gonna lie. Hold on. Wait a minute. I'm gonna say this. I can't say I barely trust my UPS and FedEx drivers right now because I have yet, and this is me personally, I've had some crazy releases, but I've yet to have something stolen yet. And let me knock on wood now because I don't want to jinx that yet because I know my plugs. I know a few people that had their sneakers stolen, and yeah, it's crazy work. But I'm not going to be the one to call it out. I'm not going to be that guy. I promise you, I'm truly not going to be that guy to jinx myself. But if you had a chance to get these, and a lot of people say they either hit on them or pass on them as an exclusive access release before the reservation of the GT Future swoosh mask. I mean, I know I personally wanted the highs. So for the lows to come out and they actually had an exclusive release and not a general release, I think that's, petty. And I think it's petty only because of the simple fact, like, people wanted the sneaker. Of course they did. Ain't no way you telling me people didn't want the sneaker. But it's more or less how people are gonna rock the sneaker, or not rock the sneaker, but how they gonna have access to the sneaker that makes it, not enjoyable, or making it seem like people that got a chance to get that sneaker won't appreciate it. Because if I show you the next photo, it just goes to show you that there are going to be a lot of things that people won't appreciate. And if I get flagged for this, so be it. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, the news have been coming out, and I shout out to Kicks Finders for this, but resellers have begun receiving their pairs of the Virgil, the VAA, because I'm not going to say, I forget the whole acronym. I'd rather just say the original off-white, ones. But the VAA, Nike Air Jordan 1 High OGSP Alaskas, and Boxa 100. Now, the wider release is April 3rd. They have changed the date so many times that, people are either going to be happy or mad about it. But some boutiques that have not gotten off-white are getting them. And that means that there are going to be a higher stock than previously rumored. That means there's going to be a chance for people to get it. I'm not gonna lie to you. And I agree with Twisted the God. If I can't count for retail, I just won't have them. Because Virgil would be disappointed in these backdoor activities, but resellers can truly fuck off. Like to come off extra for a pair of Virgils, and y'all basically are getting them from the back door. Like, y'all basically getting them back door, and like the backdooring community, say what you want, is the thing that really ruins the sneaker market. Like, y'all get them in a Boxa 100, and they're going to have a higher stock than previously, expounded upon. That means that you motherfuckers should have no reason to charge above what y'all are doing. It should make no sense, in all honesty, that if these sneakers go beyond high price and high dollar, then it should make no sense for why resellers should be having this many in bulk. The original off-white Air Jordan 1s was supposed to be limited. We can all agree to that. Now you made it more and more accessible, and now people are getting them in bulk. That causes a bigger problem with the issue. Hold on. Now, if I could say anything else, I do apologize for the long breaks. Like I said, normally life has been lifing, but we still got to keep the show on the road. And these off-white Virgils is going to be the things that really... And my only grievance with the actual shoot from the photos is it doesn't look like the 2018 version. That's my only grievance with the sneaker. Like, I can say that the sneaker looks either, it's going to be sold and it's going to be popular, and there's nothing wrong with that. But in comparisons to, like, the original run, the original sneaker that we saw in 2018, it's not going to be the same. It's so many differences, and I think you're either going to love it or hate it. And hopefully you love it more than you hate it. That's my only gripe. All right. ladies and gentlemen, we have the Solomon XT Whisper Red Ashes that are coming out in 2026. Solomon, ironically, and I say this in the most simplistic way possible, I've had some shoes that actually really surprised me. And I want to say Red Ashes, this is one of the shoes that really surprised me because the yellow on the stripe is the thing that pops out in this. Like the two-tone red, like the dark red mixed with like the lava red, and that yellow pops on the sneaker. Like the yellow is probably the one thing on the sneaker that actually stands out in its entirety, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And OVO Harlem Gold Trial, no thank you. I'm sorry. I saw something that just upsetted me, and I was like, I'm not posting that on my channel. I'm not giving that fraud any credit on any time on my channel, so I'm not gonna do that. But these Solomons, I'm not gonna lie, that yellow pops. I know they're going to probably drop in price soon because people are not really big fans of the brand. Well, I'm not going to say people are not really big fans of the brand. Let me rephrase that. The brand has a certain niche, and there are a lot of people that don't match that niche, and they don't appreciate the Solomon brand for what it is, even though in all aspects that it is going to be probably a really genuinely nice shoe, and that's nothing wrong with that. But I think in all honesty, this shoe with the colorway it is might be really genuinely nice. Like, and that's just coming from a genuine sneakerhead point of view. Like, I think this shoe will be underrated from Solomon for this year. Oh, excuse me. And there's really nothing wrong with that. Like, it's okay to be underrated. If it goes down in price, then hey, that's more for the people that actually want the sneaker more than anything, or just like the colorway for what it is. There's nothing wrong with that at all, honestly. Like I said, this is coming from a genuine sneakerhead point of view. Oh yeah, let me talk about these real quick. I need to talk about these because I've been holding off on certain sneakers, and I need to do this now because if I don't, your boy will forget. And if you know me, in my short-term memory, I definitely will forget. Alright. These are the Under Armour D-Fox 2 Hooptopia. And I'm not gonna lie, when I first saw the name Hooptopia, I was thinking Zootopia, and then he actually has his own shoe. I mean, these are the Curry Foxes, and you know, with Curry stepping away from Under Armour, and they're just calling them the D-Fox 2s. I mean, the Under Armour D-Fox 2s, but they still got the Curry on the tongue. The Fox, I'm not gonna fly, the Fox on the tongue is pretty cool, with the shade of yellow as on the tip of the shoe, and the more or less fuchsia on the back, the Fox logo inside the tongue. It looked like velvet or a suede on the inside of the tongue. But with the blue laces, I mean, the shoe doesn't look bad. Like, I'm looking at the shoe right now from the Under Armour website. It doesn't look bad. Like, it's a nice, solid shoe. And they have all sizes right now. It's $120. It's not bad. The colors are Capri, Campus Gold, and Stone. The members can get it right now, but a lot of other people can wait to get it. It's not a bad shoe. It's just, with everything going on with Curry and Under Armour, it kind of takes away from the sneaker. And to be honest with you, that's the thing I hate most. I think that's truly the thing that I realize that I don't like, is when the original idea of the sneaker and how it's supposed to be worn and appreciated is not being taken care of. And I think that's the issue. Like, because let's be real, people are, already gonna go for they're going for the Curry brand, but it's D Fox's sneaker. And even with everything that's going on with Curry, I think this is more or less a business aspect that they might as well call it the D-Fox 2 and just take out the Curry and just put D-Fox on it the next shoe from this point forward. Alright. Let's get the next sneaker. Now, the Air Jordan 4 OG Breads return November 27th. So that's, I think, either Thanksgiving or Black Friday. I ain't look at a calendar yet, but I know it's one of those 2 days. And with that, that means it's already going to be crazy work. Because you're getting the 2000s box with the MJ face on it. So the early 2000s box. The 1989 spec. So that means it's the original version of the shoe. They're going for $230, so in my opinion, this is going to be a high dollar shoe. That means the hype beasts are going for it. Full family sizes, but also limited stock. So that means even though that those two don't go together, they're probably having a certain number for full family. They're gonna have the full family sizes, like preschool, toddler, boys, and boys and men. So basically all of that. But then and only then, that's where it gets crazy when there's only like certain amount when it comes to that. So, I mean, if you're going to get the Jordan 4s, by all means, I wish you the best of luck. It's not my partake. It's not my cup of tea. I'm not going to be the one that be like, don't go for it. No, because people love the breads. People love the breads a lot, and I'm not going to be the one to tell them no. But if you get your feelings hurt, don't be blaming me because I ain't the one. I'm like, I support your decision on getting them. If you get them, good luck. Then cool, I respect it. If you don't get them, don't be mad at me. I know your feelings will be hurt, but hey, I digress. But needless to say, I think this is for the best, and I think people that actually do get them will actually appreciate them. All right, let's go to the next sneaker. I think it's this one, yeah. All right, so Adidas earlier today had the Adidas Handball Special, the FIFA World Cup edition, drop earlier today. And they had multiple colorways. They had Germany, Peru, Italy, Argentina, Mexico, Japan, and Chile. Now, most of them went 9 p.m. Pacific time. Pacific time, and 12 p.m. Eastern time for Dick's Sporting Goods. But a lot of other places have already had them drop already. And I think each country, from what I've seen, had their own link on there from Dick's Sporting Goods, and I think they're pretty cool. But I already know Mexico color, and I think so. If I had to rate them, my favorite pair would be second to the left, right here. Second from the top of the left. Mexico's for sure. Let me see if I can just pull them up on the website so that way I could be fair and actually give y'all a better and more accurate reading of. Oh wow, my camera just flashed on me. Oh damn. Yeah, that's Italy is blue. The blue ones is nice. I don't feel like dealing with the German website. I ain't got time for it. Sure, just that's Italy. All right. Which one's Peru? Peru is the one I was talking about. Peru is literally second bottom left, second top left, like that. The yellow, orange, and pink on the stripe with the neon orange strings. Yeah, that's freaking Peru. I already knew those were going to be a solid pair. All right, let me see Argentina's. Argentina's pair is the white with the blue. So bottom right. They're okay. I mean, Argentina honestly had a better pair of Adidas I talked about in the last episode. Once you see the shorts, I'll probably just tag them on there and then go from there. I already know which one is Mexico. Let me see which one is Japan. Japan is the one under Peru. Those are nice too, looking like the Easter colorway, but it's really Japan's colorway. The core black, the glow blue, and the off white. Not bad. Which ones am I missing? Let me see. Oh, I already did Peru. Let me see Germany's. Germany's is the one across from Peru. Okay. So let me see. Let me see Chile. Yep. Chile is the bottom one on the right. And I think that's also a solid colorway. Let me see. I already did Italy. Let me see. Let me see. Which one? Let's see if they had Jamaica already up yet. Up. Yep, they got Dick's Sporting Goods. Oh, Jamaica has a pair. Oh, yeah, the Jamaica pair is nice. So, yeah, needless to say, they have a bunch of pairs coming out, and I think a lot of people are going to rock with these. Oh, God, don't tell me the camera. Yep, it did. Hold on. Let me fix it. Oh. Oh, Lord, the camera went out. Ah! You can't take a win or loss, but needless to say, I think these are pretty nice. I think this collection is pretty nice, and I'm not going to be mad because the camera want to go out at the last possible second of filming. And, you know, sometimes you got to take your L's with your W. Go right there. There we go. We're back live, ladies and gentlemen. Needless to say, I think these sneakers are all pretty solid for the most part. Then they're going to be pretty affordable. Like I tell anyone, if you're going to the World Cup and if you go into the Houston side of the World Cup, if you go to the fan festival and see me in my World Cup fit, just stop by and say hi. It's going to be hot as hell. But at least then we can all prevail. We can do something great and make sure everything goes in sales because I'm going to be there for the World Cup regardless. And if you're coming to Houston for the World Cup, come kick it with us. Come kick it with me especially because I'm going to be bored in that heat. Oh, damn. I did that to myself. All right. Next sneaker because we got to get the show rolling. We're almost an hour in. Holy jeez. Like, we still going, ladies and gentlemen. We ain't stopping for nobody. All the views, all the love, I appreciate it. Even though, like I said, if I'd have stayed consistent like the last few days, I'd have had way more numbers. But I did have to take a break yesterday. I'm not going to lie to y'all. Y'all got to understand. Taking care of self is way more important. All right. So, the KD6 Brazils are dropping June 19th. I'm not going to lie to y'all. I'm going to be honest with y'all, 100% honest with y'all. I'm glad they're dropping these around the same time as the World Cup because this was also another KD6 that I did miss and that I did regret, not getting. And for this to drop June and for it to be like 135, not gonna lie to you, in this market, KDs are becoming way affordable. And if they're becoming this affordable, I can rock with it. I can appreciate it. Like a re-release in this time, I think is something that we can all be happy for. And that's the one thing I will say, like I'm genuinely happy for this release in ways that people that actually had a chance to get them while they were popular or while they were, being truly appreciated is a good thing. I'm not gonna knock the sneaker for what it is. If you got the chance to wear the KD6s while they were out and that had to be at least 2014. That had to be 14 because the World Cup was in Brazil in 14. So, yeah, if you had a chance to get these shoes and appreciate them, then go for it. But if you didn't and you got a chance to do it right now, hey, man, say, man. Run it, man. All right. Let's see what else we got. Because I got to make sure you got to make sure that the camera don't cut me off, Got to stay beautiful where it's at, man. All right, here we go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, shout out to Sneaker News for this one. But 3 years after being pulled from the Nike calendar, the general purpose sole, Pine Green and University Gold are finally releasing. After Tom Sachs had that whole allegation happen, I'm not going to get into the details. You could talk about it in the comments when I separate these videos into shorts. They're releasing these. Mind you, I think at the end of last year, he had people signed up for his other general purpose shoe. So I'm thinking that at least with the comfortability and the comfortability for the culture, people are gonna, rock with these regardless of what happened with his story. And I'm not saying that's a good thing, nor is it a great thing. I'm not saying that. I'm saying for what we have right now, I think more or less people are still gonna support the sneaker, and they're either gonna try to get it and either try to rock it the best way they can, or they can, ignore all the stuff and, not buy the sneaker. But I think the way the market is now, people are gonna go for these sneakers and actually run with it, and are gonna be even more excited. That's just me talking. Like I could be wrong, but I feel like people are gonna buy the sneakers regardless. Let's get the next sneakers. There we go. Let's see. All right. Oh yeah, I gotta talk about these. Let me pray. Yeah, see, I didn't like how LBS did these. So Puma, JL-AL and Puma are dropping a Cell GL collab with color changing uppers. Now, I'll be honest with you. I didn't know that the uppers would be like this form of color changing. Like, I didn't know if it was gonna start off as a black shoe or a brown shoe. So yeah, I think they're gonna start off with both a black and a brown shoe, and then they're gonna change. There's no price to date yet. They're supposed to be releasing Saturday, and I hope they're affordable. But the uppers of the sneakers change. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you. Just looking at the sneaker, like the bronze pair looks pretty cool. The black pair you can't go wrong with, but if it changes colors, like with the sun and everything, even then, I think that's a detail that a real sneakerhead would either appreciate or, want to have. And it's experimental, so the big cat cell cushion technology. So this is like stuff that's it's reinventing the wheel for fashion houses for Puma. And I think even with that being said, this might be a solid sneaker, but I'm not gonna just go off the whim and say like, oh yeah, this is gonna be like a sneaker of the year type energy. No. I'm not saying that at all. I am not saying that people are gonna leave this sneaker sleep, or people are gonna be disappointed in this. I'm not saying this at all. I'm gonna say that people expectations for these should be high if you're a Puma fan, but at the same time, that price tag is also going to be high. That's the other issue, and I think that's the thing that people sleep on when it comes to the importance of sneaker culture in this community. All right, time for the next sneaker, and low-key, we reached our hour mark, which is good, which I'm grateful for, but we still got a little bit more to go. I still got maybe one or two more sneakers to do, and then I'm going to call it a night, and I'm going to appreciate everybody who's tuned in and, watch the show, supported the channel, and all that and more. But let's get into our next sneaker so I don't bore y'all with my own conversation pieces. All right, ladies and gentlemen, like I said, I don't care if it covers me at this point, but Victor Wembanyama and Nike have a GT Cut 4, Gold Panther. And shout out to @theplug_off for getting us this, because it's really a Nike shoe with black and gold Panther print. Victor's initials at the bottom. On the back. And the orange Nike check. I'm not gonna lie. Look at the video of this. This might be a solid sneaker. May 20th is the sneakers date. So if San Antonio end up going to the playoffs and he actually end up rocking these, I don't blame him. But I will say this though. They ain't going for cheap. They not going for cheap. So if you do end up getting these and you end up rocking with these, let me know how y'all feel about them. I think they're still going to be a solid shoe. But I think in all honesty, it's still going to be a high dollar shoe. So you take that information as is and you pray for your pockets if you're really going for these. That's all I'm saying. I don't think you can say anything less. Now, there we go. Let me get this sneaker right here, and then we're almost done with the show, ladies and gentlemen. And because I'm literally about to go start chopping up the other videos from the other days and just putting them all together as shorts. So we're about to have a ton of fun. Fun in the sun, head ass. All right. Hopefully my camera got it right. But undefeated Converse and the World Series champions, the Los Angeles Dodgers, are releasing a premium Chuck Taylor collaboration. I'm not going to lie to you, if I was in LA or if I was still in LA, even after the World Series, these joints would have been sold, but I would not wear them at all because I do not want to die for a pair of Chucks. Let's be real. But I will say, in all honesty, this collaboration is something nice, and I could actually see this being a great collaboration, not in the sense of the market, but more or less in the sense of, okay, people are ready for this collab and ready for it to happen, especially with the Dodgers winning the World Series and basically all of LA looking like GTA 5. Or, you know, a real GTA server. With that being said, I think these would actually do, you know, real numbers, because the city of LA, if the city of LA is going to do one thing, they're going to rock with their team. And at the end of the day, you can't go wrong with a city that rocks with its team. So hopefully the fan base rocks with them, but we'll have to see as the time progresses. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's genuinely nothing wrong with that. And I think more or less we should be more excited for it. That doesn't mean it takes away from my joy. I'm just saying people should be more excited about it. Now, the last sneaker of the night, and I've been meaning to talk about this the last show, and I said I was going to push it back to Wednesday, but I was tired, so I didn't do that. And we're going to talk about it now. So, Pharrell pulled up to an LV fashion show, and people are saying this is the Jellyfish 2, and I don't know yet. And if my video gets this is more of another colorway for the Jellyfishes, because we haven't had a full run of Jellyfishes yet. We had maybe a short run of 6 shoes, but I don't think 6 shoes do not guarantee us a second run of the Jellyfishes. I mean, a second version of them, a newer version, if that makes sense, like a year-to-year update. So I think more or less this is still the Jellyfish 1s. But if it's the Jellyfish 2s, then I will make another video apologizing and correcting myself. But I think this is the Jellyfish 1s in a different colorway, or a Jellyfish 1.5 that hasn't released yet. But with that being said, we are about to sign out, ladies and gentlemen. Thank y'all for tuning in. Thank you for rocking with the show. Thank you for watching the channel. I really do appreciate it. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Check out the channel and prepare to see the shorts for the following weekend. Make sure you also share with your friends, share with your sneakerheads, and let us know what you think about the show. This is Landon Strange signing out. Yeah.